Hey everybody, Ed Homewood. I hope everyone's doing well today. Today should be an interesting video. It's certainly a bit off the beaten path for me. We're going to talk about the FiiO SP5 Powered Active Studio Monitor speakers. So do me a favor, please. Sit back, relax, and we'll get started on this video. So the FiiO SP5, it's an active desktop speaker, or on FiiO's website, they call it a studio monitor, or certainly pitch it as being used in studio monitor. And we'll talk about that when we look at the back of the units. $750 for the pair. They're not cheap, but here's the deal. These things are made out of cast aluminum. The entire chassis, the entire cabinet is cast aluminum. It is inert and heavy and very rugged. Now the basics are, it uses a 5 1/4 inch composite cone woofer, and to steal a line from one of Steve Guttenberg's reviews, the surround on it is ribbed for your pleasure. It's a 1 inch composite silk dome tweeter. Now there's 60 watts going to each of the woofers, and there's 20 watts going to each of their tweeters. I'm going to assume it's an electronic crossover internally. It doesn't mention it, but there are some controls on the back that lead me to believe that. Really interesting. It does come with a nice remote control. It does come with some good stuff. We're going to spin it around, look at the back. It comes with all the cables you need to connect it up, and there are quite a few, which is maybe one of the issues I have with it. I don't have many, but that might be one. So let's do this. Let's look at the back. We'll do a little deeper dive on that. So give me a second to reconfigure. Well, here we are looking at the back of the SP5, and I apologize, I'm kind of in and out of frame just because I want to give you a good close-up. As you can see, it's an imported enclosure. Again, die-cast alloy. These things weigh a ton. They're inert as all get at. Now, here is an XLR connector on each one. And this is a bit unusual because this is the RCA connector from the master to the second unit, and that sends signal, but there's no XLR connection. So how FiiO pitches this is, you would plug your XLR connection direct from your studio console. So they're pitching these as studio monitors. You'd go right from your mixing console directly to each speaker, and all you're doing at that point is using the amplifier and crossover in each speaker. Volume control and everything else would be controlled from the console, not from the unit itself. So just kind of an interesting feature. Now, we have a line level in on the master. So if you have a CD player, if you want to plug it in, or you have a turntable with a phono preamp, you can plug that in. This RCA connector is the one that connects the signal from the master unit to the secondary unit. On the master unit, we have an additional 3.5 millimeter line in. We have a trigger input, 12 volt trigger input. We have a ground lift, and we have a switch that allows you to switch this from left to right. So you'll notice here it says right, and this says left. You can switch it. You can make it whichever one is the most convenient, especially for wiring. It does have a USB input. It does have a built-in DAC. I couldn't ascertain what the DAC chip is, but it sounds pretty good. We also have on each unit a bass control, so we can boost the bass by 3 dB or 6 dB. We have a bass roll-off control, so we can have the speaker itself cut off its bass at 60 hertz or at 50 hertz, which again leads me to believe this is an electronic crossover. And then you have a treble control where you can boost it 3 dB, have it flat, or have it have it cut 3 dB. So pretty interesting. IEC power socket, master power switch on both, and then the RJ45 connector umbilical, which allows this unit to take control of this unit for volume and tone and all kinds of other features that it does have. So that's looking at the back panel. Let's spin it around. Let me tell you how I tested them, and then we'll wrap this video up. So the FiiO SP5, it's actually a really nice unit. The volume control doubles as volume control. It also doubles as obviously power. And then if you just touch it, it'll select through your various inputs depending on what mode you want. It does have Bluetooth built in. I neglected to show you there's a little Bluetooth modular antenna. You don't have anything to screw in or play with. So it'll do all of the LDAC and aptX HD and all of the wonderful codecs. So it's pretty current on that stuff. It's actually a really nice unit. Now, I tested it on the desktop only, and I fed it from USB from my PC, where I run Artivana on my desktop, and it worked quite well. It sounded very nice. The DAC was okay. I didn't do any critical listening with this. I don't know that that's exactly what this is intended for. It's certainly great for a desktop system. And I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to move this upstairs to where my edit desk is and replace the active speakers I have up there, because these sounded better. They sounded really good. But anyway, I also used the line level in, and I plugged in a CD player and that worked quite well. A lot of fun. Anyway, I think they're very robust. They're really well built. I mean, they've got this diffuser kind of pattern on it for the tweeter, so it doesn't, hopefully breaks up standing waves. It is concave, so it's kind of time aligning everything. I mean, it is actually really well thought out. So in addition to all of those things, there is a FiiO control amp, and if you can get it to work, and I always struggle with that particular application, it does have a 10-band PEQ parametric equalizer function built into it, then it gives you even more control. And it gives you some control over some additional functions. Now, there are no DSP settings, there's no filters on the DAC or any of that kind of stuff. It's very basic, but its overall performance is really quite good. I used it on the desktop down here, more for casual listening to videos, that kind of stuff, previewing stuff I've shot for videos. I didn't really use it for critical listening, although when I did listen to it for music while I was doing something else, I thought it sounded really nice. The bass was good and full. Treble was very nice. It was very clean, very crisp, very much like a kind of a studio monitor sound to it. I thought accurate, reasonably neutral for sure. I didn't know what to expect because it's a TI 3116 amp chip, and I'm not that familiar with it, not like I am with the 3255s, but it sounded clean, sounded crisp, had good power, would get loud. Really a nice, actually a really nice product. And like I said, they're going to go upstairs, I think, on my edit desk. Because I like them better. They're a smaller footprint. That's one of the nice things about these is the footprint is quite small. So it's really easy to accommodate on a desk, especially my desk down here, which isn't got a big top on it. So it worked really well. And I had a lot of fun with them. So anyway, that is the FiiO SP5 active powered speaker / studio monitors. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you'd consider giving me a like and your subscription. That would help a lot. About 60% of the folks that watch my video aren't subscribed, and it would really help the channel quite a bit. So I encourage you to do so. Thank you if you do. I'd also like to take a moment to thank my channel members and my subscribers. Your support is wonderful, and it's greatly appreciated, so thank you so much. If you're interested in joining the channel, there will be a channel membership link in the pinned comment and in the video description. You can join the channel for as little as 99 cents a month, and you'll get advanced views of videos. You'll get some special offers like merch and things like that I only offer my members. So I would ask you to consider joining, and thank you if you do. I didn't use any music in this review, or didn't include it in this review, but I did use two playlists, the Old Guy Hi-Fi Test Tracks Volume 1 and Volume 2. There'll be title and Qobuz links in the video description for both of those. There are some affiliate links, you guys understand that. There's a link to the Community Post playlist. There's some great music there. Please check it out. Comment, let me know your thoughts. I think that's everything I need to cover on the FiiO SP5s. It is. Please consider liking, please consider subscribing. Comment for sure. Follow me on Instagram if you want to. My name is Ed Homewood. This is the Old Guy Hi-Fi channel, and I always tell you the same thing. Please take some time, put on some beautiful music, your favorite stuff. Just sit back and relax and enjoy the balance of your day. Thank you so much for your time. I'm grateful for it. I hope you have a wonderful day.